Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is George Schlachig. About a month ago, a little bit more now, I bought a 1989 Chevrolet C1500 pickup truck, and it hasn't been running for probably 10 years, give or take. I don't really know exactly because the guy who owned it wasn't sure. It used to be his uncle's truck and it had been parked on the farm after he had retired his camper that had been on there before, which happened after it had been sitting already for a while, and the camper was mice infested. And luckily enough, the pickup itself was spared the mice. So since that day, that was on a Sunday or on a Saturday, that I bought that truck, and the guy, he helped me get it here, which I paid him $60 for. Overall, this I think was a pretty good deal for a pickup that was complete. While it's very rusty around the bottom area, the frame appears to be rock solid, and there's a lot of stuff on it that is still seemingly all right. Only thing is it hasn't been used, which in itself might render some of it crap, needs of an overhaul. So I know that some of you were kind of curious how much this is going to end up costing in the end. And in order to keep up with that, I have made a list. Every penny I spent because of the truck, whether it be truck parts or it be tools that I happen to need, it's on this list. So let me quickly run you through this before it gets like too big of a thing. On the 11th, I spent $49.93. This is all Canadian dollars on an ignition lock and a lock ring compressor. One is a part, the other one's a tool. It's on the same bill. It's from Amazon. 311, this was actually the same order as well. It goes another $50.24 was for the locks and the key for the doors. On the 12th of March, I bought the battery. $183.54. Mind you, I had a discount coupon, but they gave it to me in cash. Like the way it worked out at the cash, so it's actually a little bit less money. They also gave me back $10 for the core, which is on a different bill. Anyways, I put down the $183.54. Sorry, the next, on the 13th, it wasn't a Friday, but it was a big expensive day. $262 and something, because I didn't have a floor jack. I didn't have any real jack. I had a jack from the Ford Focus. Forget it. It's not gonna work. So I needed a jack. There was the oil filter, and everything was also in that bill. Then there was some brake cleaner. There was some fogging oil to put into the cylinders. I don't think I wrote it all down here, but it came to $262.64, and some of the stuff was in special. On the 15th, compressor accessories. When my pickup truck got stolen, all my compressor accessories were in my toolbox. They disappeared. I couldn't blow out anything. I couldn't inflate a tire. I had nothing for that. So I had to replace it all. $15.99, this Canadian dollars, was a kit with a lot of the stuff that I was missing. I think there's even a tire gauge in there. On the 17th, I was removing the bench out of the truck, and it required me removing the seat belts, and I needed a T50 socket. And as it later turned out, I actually had one with a 3/8 drive here in the shed, because I bought a little kit once. Probably ran into a similar problem with the Ford. But anyways, this one is a 1/2-inch drive. It was $9.12. Totally worth it. Good to have. I also went to Canadian Tire and bought some clips for the rods that connect to the door lock. clips and assortments, little boxes of little stuff, $17 and something. Then on the 19th, I went to Pick and Pull, which is an auto wrecker junkyard, and I spent there $23.76. I bought another door handle because mine on the driver's side happened to be cracked, so I replaced it. Bought some weather stripping, a hold down retainer strip there for the carpet. On my side it was totally broken. On the passenger side it's reusable, so I bought one. It's the wrong color, I don't care. On the 15th I ordered my door hinge pin kit. It's got hinge pins for both sides of the truck, both doors. I'm only using the driver's side for now because the passenger side I'm happy with the way it is. Obviously the passenger side door hasn't been used nearly as much. Probably not, hardly at all. Next thing, door panel clips. You know, that the ones that snap into the door to hold the panel, the inside panel on. I bought a whole assortment. I think there are 50 of them in there, more than I need. They turned out to be not quite the same as the original, but they're still usable. Those were $14.69. Not a huge expense, but you know, by the time you add everything up, that's what the expensive part is, because every day you look at this damn thing, there's something else that you should be getting, have to get, or perhaps, you know, it's somewhere in between. You can make do with what you have, but you won't be happy with it for long. So instead of doing things twice, you go out and get more stuff. Door panel clips, impact sockets. Yeah, you might remember this little short that I did where I actually broke an adapter because I tried to take off lug nuts with something that I had. So didn't work out. Had to order a whole set of impact sockets. They were $32.10. It's a good deal, and I'll have these for life, hopefully, if nobody breaks into my stuff and takes them. Then the spring compressor. For the door handle springs, there's a little compressor that I paid $24 on Amazon. It was cheap, relatively speaking. It was absolutely necessary to change or to take out the spring that you have to take out when you're doing the door hinge pins. There goes another $24 for a tool. So, up to March 21st, which now is like already 2-3 weeks ago, I was up to $1,874 and what is it, 58 cents that I spent, more or less, because of the truck. The tools I might have bought eventually anyways. I mean, they were missing. You know, I used to have a lot more tools than I have now because mine were all stolen. It went on. On the 26th, I bought a piece of carpet on Marketplace for $20 cash. That's still not in the truck. I'm going to install that in the next couple of days. I'm hoping. Weather's good right now. I hope I'll pull it off, you know, make it at least as nice as I need it to be for a work truck. It's a beautiful carpet. Thing is, my skill in putting carpet on an uneven floor is non-existing, but I'm going to share it with you, and I hope, I think I could make it work. That's what I should say. On the 27th of March, I bought again some tools. I know what that refers to. It was when I couldn't get the oil filter off. I bought, well, it's mostly hardware. Shouldn't even call it tools, but there was a pair of long nose pliers that I broke the previous day that I replaced. That was probably $11 or $12 of this, so less than really half of this expense, $50.09. Most expensive oil change I ever did because it didn't go as planned. Again, I bought a tool. It was a shop vac from Walmart. It is actually an essential tool. I didn't have to replace it because it got stolen. It's just because I wore out the old one, tried fixing it, couldn't make it happen, had to replace it, put it off, bought it now, kind of for the truck, but you know, it's for everything else too. And I ordered a throttle body overhaul kit, which was again on Amazon, $48.64. That's including tax. If you go to Part Source, you can probably get it for about the same price. And the reason I ordered from Amazon was simply because I don't have to go anywhere. It comes to the door. It's still in the house. I haven't got around to doing the throttle body, but since the truck started with using brake cleaner sprayed in through to the throttle body, whatever is left on there now, I now need to take the fuel system seriously, overhaul that, then get it started again, and hopefully get it to idle and everything properly the way that this truck is meant to be, because once the engine is running more or less properly, then I can move on to bigger things like, you know, draining the transmission oil, changing the filter, put all fresh stuff in there and then put it into gear and see what happens. I'm semi-confident this truck's gonna move. Hopefully it's gonna move just the way it was meant to be. Otherwise, rebuilding a transmission is something I've done once in my life on a similar cheap, shouldn't call it cheap, but it's a simple transmission on an old pickup. They're relatively simple. And that is as far as this list goes right now. I can tell you there were a couple of more items because I bought those balance beads for $22, I think. Didn't put them on here yet. I'm always a day or so behind. Yeah, we're now April, I think it's the 10th or something like that. I fully expect this to go up another $1,000 or so before there's really significant progress as far as driving this thing goes. I'm hoping that that'll include all the safety related stuff, but again, there could be surprises. I don't really know. But if a truck like that, fully functional and with the repairs that I did myself, which is usually has the advantage that I know what I did and it's been done in a way that I don't have to revisit it again for a long time. Unless, of course, I screw up somewhere, which also happens. But perhaps you understand where I'm coming from. I'd like to have something that I know how it came to be, what I did to it, and by the end of this process, I'll have a pickup truck that has the potential to last me for another 5 to 10 years, which has always been the case no matter how crappy the vehicle that I ever bought was when I first got it. And I mean, I've seen pickup trucks like this on Marketplace just because it's old, it's rare, it doesn't work, it's a piece of crap, it's shitty, it's got holes in the floor and all this for $5,000. And well, I didn't pay $5,000, so I have a little bit more leeway as far as what I'm putting into the truck. That's all. I mean, there is no free pickup truck. There is no pickup truck for $1,000 that's just going to work and drive, and unless, of course, it's your dad or your favorite uncle or whatever gifts you something. Keep that in mind. Like, I got into it cheap. I'm not counting my labor. I'm counting just the parts, because the labor, it's something that I kind of like to do. So now you know where I'm coming from. I hope that'll give you some clarity on what I'm up against and what you can expect to see in the coming weeks and perhaps months here. Because, yeah, I'm going to share most of the process of rebuilding this pickup truck with you. I hope you don't mind. Right now, this is a big thing that takes up much of my time. It's hopefully temporary, but yeah, welcome to my journey. And I hope I'll see you again in the next video. If you haven't subscribed yet, well, there's a button for that. Costs you nothing. Thank you very much. And there's also a button for the thumbs up.